Hey, what's up? I'm really excited for you to check out the footage from the first Property Tech Conference in Toronto. We're here at the Osler building on King Street West, and we got a collection of people from residential, commercial, property management, talking about where residential real estate is going, where the digitization of assets and buying real estate and cryptocurrency is going. We got people talking about privacy because smart homes really kind of shake things up. So I'm going to have a talk on the state of real estate and some of this really cool data that's saying, hey, based on this data and based on the players that are really trying to make a move in real estate, what brokerage model is going to win, what real estate agent role is the one that will allow them to be successful, and what are the consumers doing, because home ownership may not be as high as you think. All right, so check out some of the footage, enjoy this, and there's gonna be another PropTech conference soon, as this industry is only gonna get bigger. So I definitely think real estate and property tech will be the biggest industry, not only in Toronto, in the whole world, and I'm gonna have some data to back it up. So it's really exciting to be here and to be in this space. I kind of stumbled in it because my wife was in real estate, her family was in real estate, and I'm really glad I'm a part of it, and I hope you all see the potential and are excited to be a part of this space. So I'm going to break down today what I've been seeing. I've been in this space for the past 5 years, engaging with lots of tech companies, lots of brokers, lots of CEOs, the people at the associations, the boards, the investors, and you get to know maybe off camera and off the blogs what's really happening, what really will happen. So hopefully I can shed some light to that so that you can either make smart decisions as an agent, broker, or brokerage, or smart decisions as an investor, or smart decisions as a startup. Here's one of my favorite numbers. There is over $100 billion paid out in commissions to real estate agents, residential real estate agents, a year in North America. That is absolutely astounding. A lot of people don't like the fact that they make all this money. But as a person who's in the industry, I like it because they spend a lot of it. And if they continue to spend, it can actually force innovation. And that is a really, really good thing, because as an industry as a whole, you'll see later, the industry doesn't spend a whole lot of the money to innovate. Real estate agents are the progressive ones, the people on the ground doing the job, who have to get the job done for a buyer or for a seller. They're the ones who are trying to figure out, hey, how do I continue to build my business and continue to innovate and spend all this money? And when it comes to tech, five years ago, it was 30 million. Now it's 9 billion. I like that growth rate. $9 billion spent on tech. Who's got a tech company here in real estate? So it's great, again, that these people are spending the money, because now it's an opportunity for startups. We're not venture funded. It's one of the really, really good spaces to bootstrap your way to figure out what kind of solution you can offer the industry. There's not that many industries where you can get in, come up with an idea, and get people to start funding it so you can start figuring it out along the way. And I always encourage startups to bootstrap their way as far as they can go. I'm also really liking that people are finally starting to put money into the industry. So they have fintech, which has got a lot of press, grew 10 times in a few years in terms of the amount of money flowing into it. PropTech has already grown 13 times in terms of the money that's flowed into it in the last 2 years. 13 times more money. So the growth rates in this space are faster than any other industry right now for tech. So if you're an investor, if you're a funder, if you're a brokerage, this is a really good sign for the industry. And there's a lot of people to serve. This is, for good and for worse, it is the most saturated profession in North America per capita. There is about 55,000 real estate agents in Toronto alone. One for every 60 people? There's probably one in this room. Okay, now this is a good thing, again, for investors, for the industry, for startups, but we all know that half of them don't do anything. And yet, you know, when we look at the way the industry has been formed and the amount of money they make, the opportunity that is there for them, there's a lot of people joining the industry every year. So there's a lot of churn, all right, in this industry. It's one unfortunate thing. It's not B2B. You're not serving big enterprises. You're working with small business owners. And so there's a lot of inherent churn in the industry, and that can get scary for companies or get scary for debt providers or investors. But this is the reason why that churn is not so much of a problem. Because there's new people coming in, and it allows a company to start continually trying to innovate and iterate and figure out what they got to do to be successful in this industry. This is the problem. In order for a good real estate agent, broker, or brokerage to effectively serve a buyer and a seller, they need time. They need reps, they need transactions, and this is the reason why people are even trying to debate whether to even have real estate agents. They fail too much, they fail too fast, so they don't even have the chance to be good. And the real problem I think that needs to be solved is how do you help agents quickly be great? Because if you look at the revenue model of an association or the revenue model of a brokerage, there's not a lot of money for the association of brokerage to teach an agent how to be great. And so hopefully it's the tech companies that can figure that out. And this is the opportunity. Everyone talks about Amazon being the biggest company in the world and being so great and being so innovative. That market they're in is only $3 trillion. Real estate is 10 times larger. And this is the reason that it will be the biggest industry in the world. There will be the most innovation, and it's really exciting. And over the last forever, they've only spent, and you look at those previous numbers, 0.5% of their asset class size on innovation. That industry has only spent 0.5%. Most industries are spending 1, 2, 3% of their asset class size on innovation. And those numbers are starting to trend up, and that's why it's really exciting to be in this space, because there's so much change happening. It is the perfect storm for disruption. It is the perfect storm for new brokerage models, and I'm going to break that down today. It's the perfect storm for new roles of an agent. Like what should an agent even do to help a homeowner buy and sell? And maybe their roles need to expand to start thinking about more things into helping someone just buy a new home or sell the home they're in, as a way for them to make more money and maybe make less on the per transaction. So all of you in this room right now who want to be a part of this space, who want to make money in this space, who want to change the world, okay, because real estate really is a pillar of life, okay, you're in the right place. And I'm excited to meet all of you after this. So I'm going to break down, there's 3 real changes that are happening in the space. It's 1, the new brokerage models that people need to be aware about. 2, it's the new agent. And 3, it's the new consumer. All those 3 things are changing. And it's taken me a long time to learn all these changes. So hopefully I can make it happen for you real fast so you can make better decisions in whatever it is you're doing. The brokerage to agent relationship is changing. Okay, and there's lots of companies who are trying to change that. The brokerage to the consumer is changing. Okay, some brokerages or virtual brokerages are trying to just get right at the consumer or do more for the consumer in this whole process. The brokerage business model, I am astounded it is not already dead, because their value proposition, not by their own fault, it was really RE/MAX's fault. They've really just screwed themselves over in the way that they make money. They don't have the resources to even do what they want to do to help the agent, help the buyer, and help the seller.
And they're now in a scramble to figure out how to have a value proposition to make money off the agent and be warranted to make that money and to charge a certain amount to the consumer. So the commission and comp plans are heavily changing, and so these are the areas you can think about all these new models and like what is the fundamental that they're trying to change or innovate in. And then, at the end of the day, it is a fight to see what is the new model. So let me break some of them down for you. There is a new brokerage model, and the first one that's getting a lot of hype these days, I call the employer model. A lot of people are calling it the discount broker. Okay, the examples of this are Redfin and Purple Bricks are the big names, and there's other ones as well. But essentially, they're trying to now say, hey, agents shouldn't be independent contractors. They should be employees, okay? And we'll just charge a flat fee, pretty much just operate like a company. Let's be McDonald's for real estate. That's the goal. And sure, you know what? There is going to be a market who likes McDonald's. But my house ain't McDonald's. The house I want is not McDonald's. And my prediction is that if they don't change the current model that they're trying to come out in the marketplace, I mean, look at Redfin went bankrupt. And they were the same thing, but in Canada. So if they be as they are, and if they stay the way they are right now in the marketplace, they're going to serve less than 10% of the market, and they'll just stay there. There will always be a market for these people, and there will be people who want to work with these companies, but it won't actually innovate, it won't really break through. But if they can come up with a way, because one of the questions I always ask for brokerages is, what business are you really in? What is the business you're really in? Right now, you're bringing people into your brokerage because you think you can help them have a great income and have a great life, at the real root of it. So if you, Mr. Employer, can show me how I can have the fun that I'm having in real estate and actually profit more and have a better quality of life, then I will leave RE/MAX and join your company. And I will do the same thing I'm already doing. So if they can figure out, and if there's tech companies out there that can help them figure out how to help an agent profit more and have a better quality of life, because there's a lot of agents who don't make any money, then this is where I see them being able to serve the majority of the market. Because that's all agents at the end of the day really care about, is making money, having fun, and having a good life in real estate. Same thing with the majority of employees at any company. The next brokerage model that's seeing a lot of change is the full stack broker. Okay, we see a lot of full stack developers being really popular these days in tech companies, and now we're talking about the full stack brokerage. So this is where there's marketing, operations, technology, customer service, insurance, everything. Everything is going to be done under one roof, and we're going to do it all. So Compass and Keller Williams are the two major players who are trying to achieve this plan, where they're like, all right, Compass raised $1.5 billion. Keller Williams has committed $1 billion to building out their tech and building out an all-in-one platform. And the advantage is if they can pull this off, it's super convenient for the agent to have one place to go to get everything done, because right now I'm working with all these different vendors and it's really complicating my business, and that decreases my execution, which makes me less successful. And if I can do everything under one roof, then maybe I can pass on some cost savings to the agent. But this is really hard to execute. Neither of these companies started as tech companies. They started as real estate brokerages. And it ain't easy just to be a tech company. And to think that how many tech companies have problems with their customers? Raise their hand. Okay? Your customer is your whole livelihood, and you're going to all of a sudden tell them, stop using everything that you're doing, and let's just use all of this stuff that we just built. And don't worry, your income will be fine. You'll be fine with all of our tools that we have only just tested for a couple weeks. If they try to actually build everything on their own, my prediction is they'll all fail, and then their competition, like RE/MAX and Coldwell Banker, will buy them at pennies on the dollar. Or what's already happening and starting to happen in the news, they're kind of starting to pull back and say, yeah, we can't really do it all, and then we're going to buy a bunch of tech companies. Because that's actually smart, and if they do that with all the money and resources they have, they can win. So if you're a tech company and you were like me, denied to work with them in the past because they were going to build it all on their own and compete against us, reapply. Reapply to go work with them, because they may say yes this time, because they're starting to realize that being a tech company ain't that easy. Then you got the iBuyers. I remember being in an investor meeting and I just said a bunch of stuff and I said iBuyer and she was like, oh, that sounds really interesting, I'm gonna write that down. And I'm like, you have no idea what I just said. And it's the concept of a platform where buyers and sellers can interact without agents. It's really a sexy word that investors are getting really excited about. So you might want to throw that into your pitch and catch their attention if you're raising money. But just know that this is a service, it's not a business model. Because brokerages are now very quickly able to get a pool of investors together, and now they're going to offer their own iBuyer program. And that's really the ultimate service for an agent to go up to a homeowner and say, hey, you can either get a cash offer right now and pay me this small commission, or hire me, pay a higher commission, and I'll probably be able to sell your home for this much. Which one do you want? And whereas an iBuyer who doesn't work with an agent, they're like, well, I can give you a cash offer and that's about it. So if those iBuyers don't start to partner with agents, they will lose, my prediction. If they actually partner up with brokerages or work with agents and bring them in-house, then what they're doing is they're just providing a really cool service. The next brokerage model is the tech-enabled brokerage platform. So these are the Remaxes, the EXP, the Coldwell Bankers, the traditional brokers that are like, you know, I don't think we can be a tech company. I think we should just stay a brokerage. But we need to have more tech stack. We need to integrate with more tech companies. Our agents need more tech. So we're going to either buy or integrate with a whole bunch of tech companies. To me, this is the safest bet. So when I see the future, I see these companies, either the really, really big brands, using their money, using their power, using their network, using their size to have a really cool integrated platform with a whole bunch of tech companies, or the really boutiques finding some niches that we didn't even realize brokerages would specialize in. And if you're in the middle of the pack and you don't have a good brand, you're going to die. You're going to get squeezed and there's going to be extremes. Really big generalists or really niche focused brokerages who can then just integrate and partner with tech companies to help them serve their niche. Now here's something that's recent in the last year or so. Amazon has a real estate division and a mortgage division, and they want to do it all for free because they just want to have an Alexa in every house, and they want you to be their client and start buying everything through Alexa and through Amazon because they believe that they can offer real estate mortgage for free because they're going to make everything on the back end through the purchase of everything you need in your daily life. And that's a really interesting model. Now, they haven't got into residential, the buying and selling, the resale, they're getting into new construction. So they have partnered with Lennar Homes, which is the largest new home developer in North America. Facebook wants to get into real estate. No one really knows how, except maybe be the national MLS. Because everyone's putting their listings on Facebook. And they have a full license to do whatever they want with that data. So they could replace the MLS. Google and Apple, they want to do something in real estate, but they're a little bit further behind. And I think they'll probably do something like Amazon because they're all chasing the in-home voice concierge that you do everything through. So what do I think about these companies? I just think at the end of the day, what they're trying to show the world is that how can real estate agents make money in other ways? One of the really systemic problems I see in the real estate industry is real estate agents and brokerages and associations make money in one way. And no great business in the world makes money in one way. The agent makes money off the seller, the brokerage makes money off the agent, the MLS makes money off the brokerage or the agent. And every great business in every great industry has done it in many other ways. All this technology and all this change has really forced the agent to be different. And at the end of the day, the standard of service has to go way higher because they got to be the go-to for everything now. Google, Facebook, Zillow, all these platforms, all these technologies can give a lot of information and do a lot of stuff the agent really shouldn't even be doing in the first place. Let technology do your work for you and do what those companies can't. All tech companies rely on the data they get, and there's a whole lot of data that helps people buy and sell homes they don't actually put online. And the agent needs to get that data. And that means there's more focus on relationships. There's 100 million leads, only 5 million transactions. There's all this craze about buying leads. It's almost like crack to an agent. I need leads, I need leads, I need leads. Can I buy leads? Can I buy leads? Can I buy leads? And it's like, listen, man, there was 5 million leads in 2005 and 5 million transactions. There's 100 million leads this year and 5 million transactions. Nothing's changed except you guys are wasting a whole bunch of money on leads. The data is pretty clear. Leads do not convert. Conversations with people that you have a relationship, that converts. And technology kind of pulls them away from that, and I think technologies that help them actually be more human and be better quality humans are the ones that will survive. Now this is a really cool thing that I'm seeing with the consumers, because I know myself, I'm a totally different consumer than my parents. Okay? The percentage of homeowners who are not using an agent, percentage of homeowners who are trying to sell a home on their own without an agent has actually gone down. It's not gone up. Despite technology, despite us millennials, the percentage of agents who are selling a home without an agent has gone down. And that's a good thing because there's too much data, there's too much options, and they need to be smart with this really big decision. Now, the decision about what they want to do with their money has completely changed. Look at these home ownership rates. All age groups have a downward trend on home ownership. All of them. And the millennials, look how low that is. We really do not care to own homes. And I don't think that's going to change. But what we do want to do is buy real estate. But for different reasons. I want to buy it for short-term rentals. I want to buy fractions of houses. And I want to crowdfund. I want to get into real estate in different ways and make money in real estate in different ways. So how can companies help people do that? How can agents help people do that and make money off it? Maybe agents stop helping people buy and sell homes to live in, and agents help people buy and sell homes to make money off of. At the end of the day, real estate is a very hard industry to disrupt. Everyone's like, oh, real estate's going to go through the same thing that Uber and Amazon did for taxis and, you know, the retail stores and Netflix did for Blockbuster. If you think about the frequency of taxis and of buying goods and of renting movies, it's a high frequency, happens daily or weekly, and the cost is super tiny. Real estate, it's the exact opposite end of the spectrum. It's the most expensive thing that people buy and sell, and it happens once every 15 to 20 years. That's the reason why it's hard to disrupt. I mean, yes, there's some old boys club stuff going on at the top, but it's really a function of this. So if you want to figure out who might be a winner, if you want to invest in technologies, invest in companies, here is something that one of my mentors said that guides me to figuring out what companies I should pay attention to and which ones I don't really care about. If a technology enhances a fundamental for the industry, that's likely going to win. Because that's what the industry needs. They just need to be enhanced and modernized. If something tries to change a fundamental, like get rid of agents and get rid of brokerages, good luck. Robots and machines will replace bad agents and assistants. Assistants agents need, but it doesn't need to be a human being anymore. It can be a bot. And they need to start getting back to this. Before the internet, and people were door knocking, and people actually were like, I want to talk to an agent because they have information about the neighborhood, they have information about the events, the people, the businesses, the parks. There's no Google, there's no Facebook, there's no Zillow. There's a book, and there's a person who walks around the neighborhood all the time. I want to talk to that person. And advertising and technology has started to pull agents away from that, and it's time that agents get back to this, because this is how they will survive in the industry. And if you guys want to learn about Parkbench, I'm not going to get into the details of my company, except, oh, this thing would move. Our goal is helping agents profit more as a human being who owns a business, because that is the end game as an entrepreneur. We are a tech company who, if you want, as a brokerage, to integrate with technology, to add new tech to your stack, we can help you do that. If you want to come up with some new ways of how the agent can make money in other ways, that's what I really want to do. because that's going to help the fees go down, but the agent be happy because their income is staying up. And if I was to bottle up what I help agents do is get away from the computer, get away from buying leads, and get back to having conversations, get back to giving value, get back to knowing people on a level that all you tech companies, including myself, will never know. Because that information that people don't put on Facebook and don't put in blogs and don't put in online, there's some data out there that really help them buy and sell homes, and that's the agent's job, is to get to know people. So if you want to learn more, talk to me. If you want to learn about the industry, if you want to get my insights and perceptions on what might happen, all right, I'm happy to talk about it. Thanks very much.